Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health Systems Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
And welcome back to Bayou Time Sports. Now we take a look at Coach Lellie Day, who later became a physical therapist here in the area. Quite a good one. Well, when it all started, Lellie Daigle was a great athlete and a great coach, and he led many teams to state championships. His induction into the Bayou Region Hall of Fame, quite special.
The next video you're going to see is of our next inductee this year, Coach Lellie Daigle.
I was born on Railroad Avenue, across from Morrison Lumber Company right there. Together we had 10 children. So we had to sort of pick up games, and of course we had, where I grew up, the Shady Oak Park. We moved there in 1943. We played the games you don't even hear about anymore. You know, we played kick the can. We had sports. We played at the Shady Oak Park. We played at the CYO lot. And we played the tough football. We played the tackle football.
They always talk about how good of an all-around athlete he was. It wasn't just football, baseball, any kind of game, whether it was marbles or whatever. He was always one of the best at it.
I love baseball. Marbles. I love marbles.
I can remember we'd have carpet back in the days, and we'd take the sewing string, and we'd make our big rings, and we'd play in the ringsies or whatever you call it. And we thought we were pretty good, you know, to hit one every now and then. And he'd come tell us how to do it. Never did. And then all of a sudden one day played, and I'm telling you, that marble would be where your foot is, and he'd pop it. I mean, it wasn't even close. I mean, he was so good, and we were like, we'd freak out how good he was. Ping pong, bowling. He was good at bowling. He was good at basketball. He was good at horseshoes. I mean, anything hand-eye coordinated, he was good. And that's what made him a great tennis player.
The Lord blessed me. I don't know, I had good hand-eye coordination.
So whatever he played, he had the strategy of that game down to the T.
Buddy was a great guy. Buddy was a legend. Started coaching in San Francisco in 1950. I was on the first team there. I remember Buddy coming by the Shady Oak Park and picking me up. He had a couple of guys. He said, look, we gotta go get our facilities ready. He said, y'all ever kill any chickens before? We had to use the facilities where the nuns had the chickens. So we went in there and killed all the chickens, and of course started cleaning out the hose pipe. So in 1950 we played 5 games. We played Delgado Trade School. We played Morgan City Central Catholic. We might have played Delgado twice that year. So we played 5 games. The second year, I think we might have played 8 games. And of course, the third year was my senior year. We were 10-0-1. Strong point about Buddy, he made it fun. No matter what sport he was in, you had to have fun. Fun has got to be part of the game, and Buddy was great at that. I played more baseball after I finished school. I played a little bit in college, and I guess I liked baseball. I liked to hear the crack of the bat and sweet spot.
He did letter in baseball his freshman year at Northwestern. And then he got a little homesick, they said, and he came back, and he went to LSU the next year, and he actually lettered in baseball at LSU.
It was his first at bat at LSU as an LSU baseball player. And he had just recently lost his dad. He remembers vividly when he was getting ready to bat, he was just thinking about his dad while he was batting, and I guess, you know, in the batter's box. And lo and behold, he hits a home run. And he just remembers, he tells me a story, as he was walking around, he just looked up and he was thinking about his dad rounding the bases. So he even gets better. So he celebrates, all that good stuff. The next day it's in the paper, and they write it up, not Leslie Daigle, they write it up, his name is Edward Daigle. So they misprinted his name, Edward Daigle, in the paper, and that's his dad's name.
I coached with Buddy one year in 1960. In 61 we started. And we had some good athletes. We only had 100 boys in school. coached football, also coached baseball. Gerald Albert was an outstanding coach. I hired Gerald in 1961. It was the first job he had. And he came aboard. And Gerald, let me tell you something, he was going to outwork the other guys. Spinelli came aboard coaching with us. Facility-wise, we didn't have much, but we had good talent. Even though we had 100 boys, we had some talented guys.
He was very good as a coach exploiting weaknesses of his opponent.
Whatever he did, he wanted it to be done well, but he wanted to impart good things to people all the time. He wanted them to do their best.
I was fortunate. I got into Babe Ruth running the summer program, and so I could watch my guys all summer. So when the year rolled around, I got a pretty good idea on what kind of talent we're gonna have. Really started studying the game, particularly hitting the baseball. I had certain theories about how you should hit a baseball.
He loved to talk about hitting in running bases. So he grew up, he coached me and all my brothers, and feeling the art of taking signs, strategies, the art of taking a pitch. He was big on taking a pitch.
We won 3, 63, 64, maybe 62. I thought we should have won. We had the Thompson boys, Mitch and Mike Thompson. They were great athletes too. I thought we could have won that one too. We were close to winning. We got in the finals, but we didn't win. Certain things we kind of, I thought we did right. So we liked to run the bases. We had great catchers all the time. Mike Bro started with me as an 8th grader, as a catcher. Played 5 years. Donald Chauvin was one of the guys that played in that time, and Donald could run. He could really run. I've only been around one high school guy. When you got at the plate, and Harold would throw that fastball, it makes a little noise. You got like a little humming coming across. I could mention so many. The Falk boys were outstanding. Gary LeBlanc had a swing that you don't teach. You either got it or you don't have it. Beautiful swing, and he was a fine pitcher. Teddy was an outstanding athlete. Of course, his brother Leonard was good too. Well, coach is as good as the athlete,
He was a God-fearing man, and that came across with every single thing that he did all of his life. And I can absolutely see him a wonderful, fun coach, because I think the same passion and drive that he has in the field of physical therapy, I know he has as a coach.
He didn't share much of his coaching days or his playing days. Dad was a man of action more than a man of speech.
We had 100 boys. We had 3 coaches. 3 coaches and 4 brothers of the Sacred Heart. And the 4 brothers we had, I still have a special place in my heart for the brothers of the Sacred Heart. I got interested in athletic injuries early on, and I figured, if you don't go now, I don't know if I'm gonna ever go back. So I had just got married, and I married Ann, which was a big blessing, no doubt about it. And she had 3 kids. So we started applying different schools, and we got accepted at Duke University.
Dad getting to Duke, to me, was by God's providence. My mom was one who encouraged everyone to chase their dreams. She was very much that way. And Dad loved sports, and he thought about sports medicine. That was my understanding. And for him to get into Duke was like a huge thing.
So he did everything, but that also included taking care of athletes. So when athletes sprained an ankle or hurt their knee, didn't have a whole lot of the sports medicine that we have today, he was it as well. So I think that was the interest that kind of sparked that.
Had an instant family with 3 kids, so he was looking to take care of his family, number one. But number 2, he always had an interest in physical therapy, even when he was in college. It was something new coming out.
I see the similarities between the coaching and the field of physical therapy. So even back then, I'll hear some stories about coaching, of how he was as a coach. Very passionate, wanted the best for them back then. But the similarities of that in the field of physical therapy are quite the same.
I came back and started practicing physical therapy in '68.
So people will still talk to me about seeing Dad in his clinic, in his first clinic.
Well, we grew up in Belmead, I don't know, right by Nichols, kind of. When we were young growing up in the neighborhood, he was like the neighborhood coach we talked about. He would have games for us. You know, the neighborhood couldn't wait to get home from school to, you know, either go play stickball or go play cracker bounce or go play run through the middle or, you know, baseball, basketball, whatever it was.
Once Daddy came to Thibodeau as a physical therapist, he was all in. He had 3 boys that were already there. And then part of his physical therapy practice was taking care of athletes. So he was an instant part of E.D. White and was just all in.
So Mom and Dad had good friends. We had neighbors that they were good friends with, but it was a simpler life. And like I said, his vacation usually was Manresa. And then he started on a second vacation, and he loved North Carolina, I guess because of his time at Duke.
And I think the big thing is seeing the graduates, seeing the ball players later on in life, and they're still able to talk about the old days and how much fun we had, and of course following them and seeing the success that they had, you know.
He was a big tennis player, and he played competitive tennis till he was 75 years old. He was actually ranked in the top 5 in the U.S. southern region, so it's a bunch of states. He would go out and play tournaments.
He taught me to love nature. I love to be outside today, and I'm pretty sure it's because of Dad. Birds, flowers, trees, gardening. I mean, some of them are picking citrus every year.
Well, he loves bird watching. So the migratory birds, we had a camping ground down for the longest time. And so when the migration comes in, he loved watching these birds. I think when he was younger, he probably killed too many birds hunting in South Louisiana and probably felt bad.
He has a passion for just seeing people do well. Like I said, reach their potential, do their best.
You know, I just feel so fortunate to be able to come in and be able to work with him, with he and my brother. Eddie's 11 years older than I, and then I was able to come into that situation and just be able to learn from those two.
Till recently, I didn't know he won, you know, 34 state championships. So he never really talked about his coaching days that much.
He would have been awesome to play for, to have fun and yet still give 100%. I mean, to not give 100% is not acceptable. And still to this day, he still comes to the office, and the dementia is kicking him pretty good. But the one thing he still holds on to is his compassion and being passionate about treating others, and the ability to touch. He wants to get his hands on people. So when he comes to the door, he wants to go to the first person and still work on people. So I'll let him work on a couple of people that know him, and he gets their hands on it, and his hands still know what they're doing.
Physically, mentally, you've done your best. It's probably easy to smile whether you win or lose.
All right, we'll take a short break. We'll come back. We'll have more on Coach Lellie Daigle.
Since 1954, Terrebonne General has been a beacon of health and hope in our community. As we mark 7 decades of dedication to your well-being, Terrebonne General Health System remains committed to advancing healthcare, improving lives, and expanding our services to meet your evolving needs. In celebrating our past, we look forward to a future filled with promise and progress. Your health is our legacy. To discover more, visit tghealthsystem.com.
Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System's Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
And now we go back to that event where Coach Lellie Day was inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Accepting on his behalf the family of Coach Lellie Day.
I'm John Daigle, one of his sons that are represented here tonight for this award. On behalf of the entire Daigle family, we're truly humbled and honored to stand here before you tonight to accept this Bayou Regional Athletic Hall of Fame Award for my dad, Leslie Daigle, Lellie. First and foremost, we want to express our deepest gratitude to Terrebonne General Community Sports Institute for their unwavering support and dedication to promote athletic excellence in this community. We also want to select the selection committee for recognizing Daddy's contributions to sports and sports medicine in the Bayou region, deeming him worthy of his incredible honor. Your belief in his abilities means the world to our family. To Daddy's fellow inductees, it's a privilege and an honor to stand here beside you tonight to celebrate your shared love of sports and your dedication to excellence. Each of you have your own indelible mark on the Bayou region of athletics, and we are proud that Daddy can be counted among your ranks. Also, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you for Stan Gravo and his team for working together with the Daigle family of putting this incredible video together. It's truly amazing. It's awesome. I know it will be watched and talked about for our family and friends for years to come. Unfortunately, Dad and Mom are unable to be here tonight due to their declining health, but both are home together at home. And I know if they were here tonight, I know they'd be extremely grateful and humbled by this recognition. They would have the biggest smiles in their faces to receive this prestigious award alongside the wonderful people here tonight that played a significant role in Daddy's selection. Their friends, their family, their fellow coaches, their siblings, their children, their grandchildren. Thank you all. Let's enjoy this wonderful night. Thank you.
When we come back, I'll interview one of the family members, John Daigle, about the induction of Coach Lellie Daigle.
Since 1954, Terrebonne General has been a beacon of health and hope in our community. As we mark 7 decades of dedication to your well-being, Terrebonne General Health System remains committed to advancing healthcare, improving lives, and expanding our services to meet your evolving needs. In celebrating our past, we look forward to a future filled with promise and progress. Your health is our legacy. To discover more, visit tghealthsystem.com.
Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health Systems Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
We are here with John Daigle. Of course, he's the son of Coach Lellie Daigle. And what a storied career this man has had. And great to see you. Great that you're here to honor your dad. But, man, what a career. And you know what struck me most, John, is that he didn't talk a lot about it. Y'all had to find out from everybody else, huh?
That is absolutely true. Yeah, it just was, never really spoke a whole lot about it. We had stories here and there, for sure, but definitely never spoke about his accolades, not much. We had to pull, it was like pulling teeth.
Yeah, but he was a good athlete, great athlete. He liked to play them all. He was competitive. He was a great coach. From all the players that I talked to over the years that had him as a coach, he was a teacher. He taught them the game, and he had a good way of explaining himself. Some coaches just get up there and rah, 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 but he really was a teacher at heart, wasn't he?
Absolutely. And I explained this earlier, too. Even when he changed careers, I think even in physical therapy, he kept teaching as well as physical therapy. So I know he was a great coach. And I had him as a coach earlier as well. Yeah. And he was very, very fun to play with, even though he was very competitive.
Yeah. Every time I saw your dad, when I did the one-on-ones or when I went to the y'all plays, but every time I saw him, he had a way of making you feel like you were the most important thing in the room. Is that where y'all learned that?
Probably so. I was blessed to have 2 very good parents. And yeah, I mean, that's definitely very evident. He definitely did that. I'm sure he did it with his students, his coaches, and I know he did it with all of his patients.
What does this mean tonight that you know, a lot of people are going to honor your dad. And I know he's not with us, and I know he's had a tough few years, but it's important that everybody else knows what kind of man he was.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful, wonderful honor. Of all the years of being in this area, in the Thibodaux and Houma area, such a large family, and you know, seeing all the students that he's coached before, I've run into over the years, and to receive this honor tonight absolutely means the world to our family.
And he brought state championships to Vanderbilt, you know, St. Francis, but it seems like they became hard to get after. So, I mean, I guess they thought they would keep coming year after year, but when your dad decided to go to North Carolina and change his career to Duke, they're hard to come by, aren't they?
You're exactly right. It is very, very hard to win. Daddy was always so humbled. You know, he never spoke about his coaching. It was always the athletes that he had. The stories that I heard, it was because of the athletes. He said coaching was pretty easy when you had such great people that played for you.
Yeah, but somehow that competitive spirit he had translated. I think I remember the one-on-one I had with him. He told me he loved to play tennis, but he didn't want to lose. Everything he did. If he was playing jacks early on, I bet he wanted to win.
That's exactly right. And he was a fun dad. He was a great dad in the neighborhood. We did all these fun and games. I mean, all kind of different things. But I don't care what it was. He wanted to win. And I can tell you, he never let me win. When we'd play one-on-one in basketball or horseshoes, I don't care what it was, ping pong, we'd be all out. You had to earn the victory.
Right.
That's for sure.
But one of them dads that said, okay, I'm going to cut him some slack, because he'd have been doing you an injustice, wouldn't he?
I agree with that. I agree with that.
He wanted to make you
But it was
earn.
always fun. We always left and we had a great time.
I think y'all said y'all looked forward to going home after school because he was sort of the neighborhood coach.
That's exactly right. It was. He was fun, and we always had some type of game to play at the house. Very fun to be around. Very creative. Always teaching and learning. Always wanted the best for everyone.
Yeah. What's it mean to the young in your family that really never had a chance to see him or watch him in action? Don't they get a little history lesson tonight?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, Daddy makes 89 years old next week, July 6th.
Yeah.
So, you know, up there, and so my children and even my his grandchildren now, you know, didn't get the same experience as us, you know, as most people do, but they're very, very proud of their grandfather.
What a legacy. John, thank you so much. Congratulations. You enjoyed tonight. Well deserved.
Thank you very much, Martin.
All right.
All right.
Congratulations to Coach Lellie Daigle and the entire family. Great man into the Bayou Region Hall of Fame.